hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. This story is coming out of Baltimore. There's so many questions that I have about this. The mother gave her kids to her sister because she was having a mental breakdown. The kids were in this sister's trunk dead. The mother, which I don't understand, okay, you gave your kids to your sister. You couldn't get in touch with her. Why didn't you go check on your kids, for one? Then you had another baby, but you was having a mental breakdown. This is insane to me.
Horrible deaths of two children found in their aunt's car in Baltimore County. Nicole Johnson, she is facing multiple charges, including first-degree child abuse resulting in death. According to these disturbing charging documents, police pulled Johnson over Wednesday in a car with fake tags. An officer smelled an odor of decomposition, and his search led to the body of 7-year-old Jocelyn Marie James Johnson inside of a suitcase. Her 5-year-old brother, Larry O'Neill, was found inside of a plastic tote. WMER2 News' Ray Strickland live at the Baltimore County Police Headquarters tonight. Ray, I know you had a chance to speak to a child abuse prevention experts. Sounds like there might have been some warning signs that were missed in this case.
Yes, Kelly, he told me there were several warning signs missed over the past year and a half, a couple of them being the kids were severely malnourished, and in fact, the 7-year-old was missing for over a year. It's a tragedy beyond comprehension, and the details about what led up to the deaths of 7-year-old Jocelyn Johnson and her younger brother, 5-year-old Larry O'Neill, are disturbing. At the center of the investigation is their aunt, 33-year-old Nicole Johnson. Charging documents show the kid's mother trusted her to take care of them when she no longer could. That was 2 years ago, and just 1 year later, 7-year-old Jocelyn was dead. Baltimore County detectives say she was killed in May of 2020 at this Regal Inn on Pulaski Highway. Johnson admitted to police she hit her niece several times at the motel before she fell and hit her head. She also confessed to later putting her in a suitcase, placing her in the back of her car while driving around with the body for months. As for Jocelyn's brother Larry, his death is less clear. Johnson told detectives that he died 2 months ago when he lied down in the back of her car and never woke up. She says she put his body in a plastic tote in the trunk of her car next to his sister. Johnson then continued to drive around with her niece and nephew in the trunk until she was stopped by police in Essex on Wednesday.
This is a tragic and horrifying, depraved act.
During their autopsy, it was also revealed the two were severely malnourished. Jocelyn weighed just 18 pounds and Larry was only 21 pounds. Adam Rosenberg, who was a child welfare advocate at Lightbridge Health, says he finds it shocking no one noticed something was wrong.
But these aren't just skinny kids. That these are kids who, to anyone who saw these kids, should know that something's wrong. Someone should have picked up on the fact that there were 2 kids living with this aunt, and then suddenly there was 1 kid.
Rosenberg also wonders if Jocelyn was in school and why her disappearance was never reported.
This is what we feared the most during the early days of the pandemic, that eyes weren't on kids.
He says we all have the legal right to report the possible abuse of a child. Rosenberg says if you suspect something is wrong, don't hesitate to help, because in some cases a child's life could be on the line.
Collectively, I think we as society have failed. This is not just one agency or one institution that failed, but I think we all let these kids down here in some way.
And it is important to note that according to these charging documents, the kid's mother told detectives that she tried to get the kids back over the years, but she couldn't get in contact with Johnson. She also told detectives because of that, she no longer knew where Johnson or her kids were until police told her about their deaths. Reporting live in Baltimore County, I'm Ray Strickland, WMAR2 News.
News at 5:30 begins with a disturbing discovery during a traffic stop in Baltimore County. Police found the bodies of 2 children inside of a car's trunk. Their aunt has been charged in this case, and get this, according to court documents, one of the children may have died more than a year ago. Avajoy Burnett has more.
33-year-old Nicole Johnson faces several charges, including 2 counts of child abuse that resulted in the death of 2 children under 13. Baltimore County Police say an officer pulled Johnson over late Wednesday night, and when the officer told her that the car had to be towed because the tags were fake, the officer detected the unmistakable odor of decomposition. At one point, the officer even noticed that the clear bag contained maggots inside. According to the department, after repeated requests from the officer, Johnson removed the blanket, exposing the decomposing body of a young child. And after a search, officers found a plastic bag that was tied up. The bag was opened, revealing another decomposing body of a young child. Police say those kids were her 7-year-old niece, Jocelyn Johnson, and her 5-year-old nephew, Larry O'Neill. Johnson told police she was taking care of the kids because their mother wasn't able to. But the mom told police she tried to get her kids back, and in March of 2021, she arranged to have the children returned, but the defendant never showed. According to the documents, the little girl may have been dead since last year. The aunt told police that in May of 2020, when they were staying at an inn off Pulaski Highway, she hit the little girl, and the girl fell and hit her head. Johnson described placing her niece inside a suitcase and carrying her around in a car for many months. And according to the documents, Johnson also told police that the little boy had an injury about 2 months ago, and he never woke up, and that she placed his deceased body in the plastic tote and kept him in the trunk with a sister. Johnson remains in jail with no bond.
Wow. Baltimore County Police are still trying to piece together the exact timeline of what happened there. They're asking anyone who may have seen or heard anything related to this case over the past year to give them a call.
Man, the mother needs charged as well. I mean, you need to be charged with something because you should have broke your neck to find out where your kids was when she didn't show and didn't answer. This is disturbing to me. Again, hit that like button and subscribe.